Gosvāmī Mahārāja Śrīla Gurudev ki jai. Nitil Vishnu Vishnupad Ashtatar Satashmar Śrīla Bhakti Vedanta Vaman Gosvāmī Mahārāja ki jai. Nitil Vishnu Vishnupad Ashtatar Satashmar Śrīla Bhakti Vedanta Swami Mahārāja Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai. Nitil Vishnu Vishnupad Ashtatar Satashmar Śrīla Bhakti Pragyan Keśavāṣṭakam Gosvāmī Mahārāja ki jai. Nitil Vishnu Vishnupad Ashtatar Satashmar Śrīla Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki jai. Nitil Vishnu Mahabhagavat Śrīla Gokṣaras Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Nitil Vishnu Śrīla Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki jai. Nitil Vishnu Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Śrīla Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Shri Rupanu Gauriya Guru Varga ki jai. Shri Rup Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jeev Gopal Bhatta Dashagunashar Goswami Prabhu ki jai. Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramananda Rishi Gaur Parshad Vṛndā ki jai. Namachay Śrīla Haridas Thakur ki jai. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासरी गौर भक्त वृंद की जय. श्री क्षेत्र मंडल गौर मंडल व्रज मंडल मथुरा वृंदावन धाम की जय. सर्व अविश्वव्रत गिरिराज महाराज की जय. श्री राधा कुंज श्याम कुंज की जय. श्री यमुना देवी गंगा देवी की जय. श्री तुलसी महारानी वृंद देवी की जय. श्री भक्ति देवी की जय. श्री पूर्णमासी योग माया की जय. श्री गोपेश्वर महादेव की जय. श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय. समागत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय. श्रीनिताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल. All right. Oh shoot. 1 second. I just need to share this link inside our WhatsApp group. All right, sorry. Let me share my screen. Where is it? Yikes. Okay. Sorry, guys. I shouldn't be WhatsApping while I'm doing the live video. Okay. Here. Gange. Oh, wait. O Gange achampe atarir vinindi rochi pravaha snapitatma vimbrinde bandhu kabandhu Devotees vrinde namaste charanarvindam bimbadaro de taramandahasya नासाग्र मुक्ता द्युति दे पिता से विचित्र रत्ना वरनाशिया दे वृंदे नमस्ते चरणारविंदम समस्त वैकुंठ शिरोमणि कृष्णस्य वृन्दावनधान्यधानि दत्ताधिकारे वृषभानुपुत्र वृन्दे नमस्ते चरणारविन्दं त्वराज्ञया पल्लवपुष्पभृङ्गा मृगादिभिर्माधवकेलिकुञ्जा मध्वादिभिर्भान्ति विभूषमाना वृन्दे नमस्ते चरणारविन्दं त्वदीयदूतेन निकुञ्जयुनो रात्युत्कयोत्केलिविलाससिद्धि त्वत्सौभाग्येन निरुच्यतां तद्वृन्दे नमस्ते चरणारविन्दम् रसाभिलाषो वसतिश्च वृन्दावने त्वरिषां कृसरोजसेवा लभ्या च पुंसां कृपया तवैव वृन्दे नमस्ते चरणारविन्दं तं Kirtasya Sattvatantra Virbir Lila Bhidhana Kila Krishna Shaktis Tavaiva Murtes Tulasi Nriloke Vinde Namaste Charanaravindam Bhakta Vihina Aparada Lakshai Vṛndā-devyāṣṭakam Kripa Maitvam Sharanam Prapana Vrinde Namaste Acharanaravindam Vṛndā-devyāṣṭakam Shrinuyat Patirva Vṛndā-vanadesha Padabja Bringa Saprapya Vṛndā-vananitavasam Tat prema sevam labhate kritartha Avrinde namaste acharanaravindam Vrinde namaste charanaravindam Jaya Vṛndā-devi Jaya Vṛndā-devi Vṛndā-devi Jaya Vṛndā-devi Jaya Tulsi Maharani Jaya Vṛndā-devi Tulsi Maharani Jaya Vṛndā-devi. Okay. Yes, just checking everything is okay. These headphones are on, yeah. Okay, now we're doing Keśavāṣṭakam by Śrīla Gosvāmī. Nava Priyaka Manjari Rachita Karnapura Shriyam Vinidratara Malati Kalita Shekareno Jvalam Tarochvasita Yutika Gratita Valguvai Kakshakam Praje Vijayinam Bhaje Vipinadeshata Keśavāṣṭakam Vishangamanīkastani Pranata Shringi Pingekshane Mridanga-mukhi dhumale Shabaliham Sivamsi Priye Iti Swasurabi-kulam Taralamavayantam Mudam Vraje Vijayinam Bhaje Vipinadeshata Keśavāṣṭakam Ghana Pranaya Medhuran Madhura Narma Goshti Kalam Vilasa Nilayan Milad Vividha Vesha Vidyotinam Sakena Kila Saraya Partishu Hasayantam Gira Braje Vijayinam Bhaje Vipinadeshata Keśavāṣṭakam Shramambukanika Vali Dharavilida Gandantaram Samura Giridatubir Likita Charupantram Puram Udancharali Mandale Dyuti Vidam Vivakralakam Braje Vijayinam Bhaje Vipinadeshata Keśavāṣṭakam Nibaddhanavatarnaka Gali Vilokanotkanthaya Natat Kuraputanchalar Alogubir Bhuvam Bindatim Kalena Dhavala Ghatam Laghu Nivartayantam Puro Braje Vijayinam Bhaje Vipinadeshata Keśavāṣṭakam Padankatati Birvaram Virachayantam Advashiyam Chalat Tarala Naichiki Nichaya Dhuli Tumrasrajam Marula Hari Chanchali Krita dukula churanchalam Vraje Vijayinam Bhaje Vipina Deshata Keshavam Vilasa Murali Kala Dhani Virula Sanmanasa Kshanara Kila Balavi Pulakayantamantar Grihe Mohor Vidadatan Hride Pramuditan Pramuditan Chagošteshvare Vraje Vijayinam Bhaje Vipina Deshata Keshavam Upeta Pati Sundari Tati Vira Vira Vyarchita Smitankura Karambitar Natarapanga Bhangeshatai Stanastavaka Sanchara Nayana Chanchari Kanchalam Vraje Vijayinam Bhaje Vipina Deshata Keshavam Idam Nikila Balavi Kula Mahotsavo Lasanam Kramena Kilaya Puman Patati Shushtu Padashtakam Tam Ujjala Diyang Sada Nija Padara Vṛndā-devyāṣṭakam Ratinda Dada Chanchala Sukayata Vishakha Saka Vraje Vijayinam Bhaje Vipina Deshata Keshavam 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 Jaya Keśavāṣṭakam 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 Jaya Keśavāṣṭakam Jaya Keśavāṣṭakam 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 Jaya Keśavāṣṭakam. Hari Bol, Dandavat Pranams. So, I thought to read, we have two shloka groups. We have one shloka group where we learn a shloka every other day, and we have a group where we learn once a week. And so, yesterday we did Anyabhilashita Shunyam, and tomorrow, and in our shloka group that's every other day. And so tomorrow I'm going to be doing the definition of Shraddha. And just to prepare ourselves for that shloka, so that we can get more deep into the meaning of Shraddha, I thought to read about, I thought to find articles about Shraddha. And Śrīla Śrīdhara Gosvāmī Mahārāja, he always gives so much emphasis on Shraddha. So I went to the Bhaktivedanta Memorial Library website, and I just went to Śrīla Śrīdhara Gosvāmī Mahārāja's page, and I'll show you, and I typed in Shraddha, I typed in faith, and then I got all these articles. And so I just opened up all those articles, and we'll see how many we can get through. I'll try to, right now it's 8:15, so maybe I'll read up till 9 o'clock. So let me just... I might start doing that from now on. Every other day, I'll pick an article that is that goes along with the shloka that we're going to be learning. Just because I don't have so much time to study on my own, so I'll study on here with all of you. So, Faith in the Devotees by Śrīla Bhakti Rakshak Śrīdhara Gosvāmī Mahārāja. Oh, and let me turn on, where is it? Noise suppression. Where the heck? Oh. 1 second. Just so that the background noises don't. There. All right. So faith in the devotees. By Śrīla Śrīdhara Gosvāmī Mahārāja. If we want to penetrate the deeper understandings of faith, not mere belief, we must go to the devotees. They are like so many pillars of faith. We are told that electricity is everywhere, and there are so many dynamos that can show electric power. Similarly, there are so many devotees, past and present, with whom we can find real godliness. They are standing like pillars of faith. If we accept Jesus Christ, then his ideal way of sacrifice will encourage and increase faith in us. So many devotees are there to help us. What sort of devotee is Prahlad? When we come in history to such a life like the great devotee Prahlad, then our heart is fulfilled. Oh, how great! God is present there. In this way, when our attention is towards the devotees, we automatically rise to a particular high standard of faith. When the devotees help us, we are in a safe plane with our attention towards them. So many pillars of faith are standing there and proving that the Lord is existing. The devotees are neglecting the objects of enjoyment and standing with their heads erect to say, and to declare that there is a supreme entity. We have seen him repeatedly, and we have experienced all of this. Faith in the advanced devotees is a very substantial help to us, all, as their position is not flickering. They have a firm position because of their faith in the higher devotees. So when one has got faith in the elevated devotees, then his faith, his devotion, is of tangible character. Otherwise, the beginners, they have not much faith in the devotees, but some abstract faith in the Lord. That is not reliable. Devotion comes to a reliable standard when one can find devotion in the devotees and give more importance to them. Above scripture, the devotees are there, and our faith in the devotees is the real way. Faith in the devotees is something tangible to us. In the higher stages, one can trace the supreme entity everywhere, in every movement. It is his sweet will. When the middle things, the barriers within that give opposition, are gone, then direct connection with the supreme entity fully awakens. Sometimes the Lord likes to play hide and seek with the devotees. Sometimes he comes clear, and sometimes he is vague. Whenever he is vague, the devotees begin to cry, "Where are you, my Lord? I don't feel you. I cannot see you. How can I continue my life? How can I live without you? You are so charming, so joyous, so fulfilling that I cannot live without your connection." In this way, the devotees begin to wail and cry when he appears vague to them. Everything is depending on the Lord's sweet will. If we want to trace the cause, then we shall find this. Then we shall find this is the cause of something, and that is the cause of the cause. Then we shall think, oh, this is the final substance, the reality we are searching after. The whole world is searching after this beauty and charm of the Lord. There's a song. O mountain, O Himalaya, O Alps, O Sumeru. What are you searching for with your heads erect? Have you seen the creator of this world? Have you attained the fulfillment of your life? Have you seen him? In this way, a devotee feels in his heart of hearts that everything is searching for Krishna, God, who is the complete fulfillment of life. In this world of life and death, there is nothing tangible to attract our attention. In this phenomenal world, our inner ear searches after something eternal. There is Sat, eternal consciousness, Chit, satisfying our search for knowledge of him, and Anandam, satisfying our hankering for beauty and love. Love is the fulfillment of life. We shall be able to understand We shall be able to understand that when love awakens in the heart and the function of the brain is gone away, this is a peculiar and particular phase of life. Wherever we may be, we are automatically searching, and searching for that big yes, Om. Om means a big yes. Whatever you are searching for, it exists. What your inner heart hankers after, that exists and is existing. Whatever apparently you see, you must go to the inner substance, the super subject. The Lord of your search is there. From Omkar comes Gayatri. Next comes the Vedas, and then the Vedanta. Lastly, the Srimad Bhagavatam descends to give a description of the ecstatic side, the joyful side of the Lord. The infinite Lord comes so close to the finite that the finite thinks, He is one of us. He plays the part of such nearness, a near friend to us, so much so that we think He is one of us. This is the Lord's highest grace and kindness towards us. Our highest attainment is also there in His divine abode, Vrindavan. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told us, eliminate all other conceptions and make haste to that Vrindavan Lord, Sri Krishna. He is Swayam Bhagavan, the God of gods, the Lord of lords. He is the source of so many majestic displays of His supernatural powers. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explained it succinctly. Search for Sri Krishna. There is no other alternative, no other duty in this world except what I say. Search for Sri Krishna. Take His holy name and talk about Him. Whatever you do, connect with Krishna consciousness and go on with faith and firm determination. You will get your fulfillment of life very shortly. So go on taking His holy name while searching or talking, whether you are sleeping, eating, walking, or quarreling. Whatever you're doing, connect with Krishna and go on making progress. Sincere search is necessary for the aspiring devotee so that his Krishna conception may not be only a sham, a hypocritical endeavor. This is really important. Let me read it the third time. Sincere search is necessary for the aspiring devotee so that his Krishna conception may not only be a sham, a hypocritical endeavor. And you will get help in that direction from the real devotees. Anyhow, go on searching for Krishna with the help of the devotees, the scriptures, and all sincerity within you. Whomever you meet with, talk about Krishna, and do not invite the prey of death. Family, money, and everything else may evaporate the next moment. Sincerely searching for Krishna is the eternal joy in every step of your life. Krishna is not your concoction. The source is the saints and scriptures, and not this mundane world of enjoyment. Neither through abhorrence nor renunciation will you find Krishna. Not just by giving up, I'm going to renounce this, I'm going to give up this. No, Krishna is the positive inquiry in the heart of the devotees. Those who are carried by the charm of this external world cannot understand what is their inner requirement. They are unfortunate. So the main conclusion is to keep company with the devotees who have got real faith in Krishna. It is very, very rare in this world to find such devotees. If we want the help of that association, then you are to keep this ideal on the crown of your head. Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Shastra Koi, Lava Matra Sadhu Sange, Sarva Siddhi Hoy. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya 2254. If properly utilized, a moment's association with the fully surrendered devotees is sufficient for your highest attainment. If one moment can be properly used, sufficiently used, then there is no necessity of long life. Only a point in time is sufficient to solve the whole problem of life if it is properly used in association with devotees, the agents of Krishna. We shall try to associate with them at all costs. What is the necessity of ages and ages of living a long life if we are unconscious of our own self-interest? One moment with the agents of Krishna if properly utilized, is sufficient to solve the whole problem of our life for which we are eternally wandering about for millenniums. We must be wakeful to our interest. We must not be negligent, but wakeful to our own self-interest. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to tell us what is our real interest within. You do not want to know your own heart. You do not know. You are a foreigner to your own heart and its demand. Faith in the devotees is the wealth within your heart. Try to find that hidden treasure. This was the direction of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It is all within you. You are to eliminate all foreign things. Then within your heart you will find a temple of Krishna. Your heart within is a temple of Krishna. Search your own heart with the help of a proper guide, and you will find Krishna there. A proper guide is not a foreign substance to you. Every heart is a temple of the Lord. It is your inner wealth. It is your home. Back to God, back to home. Gaur Haribol, Gaur Haribol. Śrīla Śrīdhara Gosvāmī Mahārāja, if you ever hear recordings of him, he'd always just, in any pause, he'd just go, Gaur Haribol, Gaur Haribol, Gaur Haribol, Gaur Haribol, like that. Now, I think I'm going to use some of this I have to write something tomorrow for the Gaudiya Kirtan mailing list. I'm going to take some things from here. It's really beautiful. All right. Now, faith is our real wealth. Let me just check the comments. I think after every article, I'll just quickly check. Everything's working fine. Looks like it. Okay. Faith is our real wealth. Why does our consciousness come down and cannot have a higher conception of higher spiritual existence? But our attention is drawn to some material thing. We think some medicine or some intoxication can help us. When I cannot raise my consciousness to the fine and higher conscious substance, then we come to seek help in the material world. These substances will help me. It is suicidal. We cannot manage. Oh my God, this is so relevant to me right now. We cannot manage to have a connection directly with the higher conscious substance. Then we come to seek some means in the lower. With the help of that, I will make advancement towards the finer consciousness. The matter will help me to understand, to acquire consciousness. We are thus faithless and the agents of that absolute truth, the Vaishnavas. It is due to Vaishnav aparad, losing faith in the conscious agents of the Supreme, that we go to the material substance. Help me. No, we go to the material substance and say, help me. I lose faith in the spiritual agency, and the long and the short is this. We seek shelter in a material thing, and we lose our faith in the higher agency. We can't see their grace. So that is the underlying position of an intoxication monger. No faith is in the higher agent, that which is spiritual, which is soul and character, but more aspiration to get help from the lower substance. I think I read that wrong. No faith in the higher agent, that which is spiritual, which is soul and character, but more aspiration to get help from the lower substance. The scientific conception is also like that, degrading, losing faith in the spiritual efficacy, their grace or their position. We come below standard. No faith. We cannot put faith in the devotee, the scripture, or the acharya. Disappointed, we go to seek help from some atom of matter. That will give me everything. Abhyartitastada tasmai stanani kalaye dado dhyutam panam striya shuna yatra dharmas chaturvida punascha yachamanaya jatarupamadat prabhu Tato nritam madam kamam rajo vairam chapanchamam. Charm for the material world, dutam to get money very cheaply, not in the ordinary constitutional way, but by a cheating process. This is dutam. Panam is also like that intoxication. That is earned by black marketing, panam. The energy I can collect in an ordinary sense. I am not satisfied with that, but in some black way I want to amass some energy by panam. This is the meaning of panam. I want to get energy by unfair means. Striya, that is raso vaisa. He is the center of all ecstasy, but we go to collect that experience of ecstasy in a very cheap way from material things. Suna is also a cheap way to develop the body. The flesh, the mangsha, can be more easily utilized for the flesh in me. The flesh, the mangsha, can be more easily utilized for the flesh in me than other vegetables. So it is all very easy, not in a regular and proper way to preserve oneself, but in a cheap way, by cheating. We want to aggrandize ourselves. We want to aggrandize ourselves. I don't know why I can't say that word. Aggrandize ourselves. Gold is such a substance that if one can get control over gold, he can have control over all material prosperity. The dollar, the pound, the rupee, rice, everything. If I can possess gold, I can easily get everything. This is cheating. With a small thing like gold, jatarupam, I can control the entire food chain. I can control all the necessities of the human beings. Cheap marketing, not a regular life, but in a cheating process. By these 5 cheating processes, we can become great. So they must be given. Let me try again. By these 5 cheating processes, we can become great. So they must be given up. We must be plain, simple, and truthful, and live here as a bona fide and sincere member, where we are. You are put in the jail. Don't try any other black things to help yourself, but sincerely give your labor as it is ruled, and you'll be free very soon. When you are a criminal, be a good criminal. Then you'll be able to acquire freedom. Already you're a criminal, and in the prison you are cheating others. So lead a simple life. Do not incur any further debt, but try to pay the debt you have already incurred. With this process, you will be free very soon, not by any artificial process, but if you adopt a sincere and simple process, not by diplomacy or any other thing. Simply, I am the greatest criminal. Oh my Lord, please forgive me. Take me out. Please be gracious over me. This is the way to adopt, not to any artificial means. It is only our love for artificial things that has brought us here. In the highest ideal, there is no place for diplomacy, cheating, or any of these things. This is the fashion of this Mayak world of misconception. To acquire anything too easily means to deceive others, but you cannot deceive God. Simply go to Him and pray that I am the culprit. I am so-and-so. Forgive me and accept me. This is a plain, simple way. Your knowledge also cannot help you. It is Gyan Shunya Bhakti, pure surrender, wholesale surrender. Only Gyan Shunya Bhakti, this pure surrender, wholesale surrender can help you. Don't use any reason there. Don't go to plead for your own cause. Complete surrender. Don't plead in favor of yourself. Rather, if you have to plead to the Lord that you are the most heinous. That will be more effective. This is the way. Love divine. It is against the conception of the ontology of love that a particular material atom may give love. That a particular material atom may give love, prem, the heart's feelings. The heart can be purchased by a chemical. By using medicine, I can get God? Yeah. Use this medicine and God will come to please and serve you. I am super God. I am giving this medicine. Never. The simple way is love for love. Give yourself and you will get Him. It is simple and pure. Surrender to the high, and the high will come down to welcome you. Sarva dharmam parityaja mamekam sharanam vraja aham tang sarva papebhyo mokshayishami ma suchaha. How comprehensive, reasonable, and natural this is. Give up everything, all engagements, and come to me freely. I am ready to accept you any time, at any moment. Accepts that all obligation to any other thing is stopped, and come to me. I shall welcome and embrace you. All obligations are stopped. Whatsoever obligations you incur or think to possess in this world are discontinued. Only my obligation remains. Your obligation to me is absolute, and these others are all relative and temporary. They are artificial and concocted. Your obligation to me is wholesale, pure and clear. Try to realize that. In the Shraddha verse that we're going to learn tomorrow, the second half of the verse is talking about this. That, what is it? Krishna bhakti koile sarva karma krita hoy. By doing bhakti, then every other obligation that you have, every other work, it's all complete, it's all fulfilled. Sarva karma krita hoy. Every activity that you need to do in this world is automatically krita, is automatically done. Real faith and blind faith. Oh, one second, let me check. All right. What is faith? We are incomplete without the Lord. The fulfillment of our lives is in the hand of the Absolute. That is faith. Everything is in the hands of the Absolute, and we are nowhere. We are helpless, sincerely searching for our real shelter. The environment is all hypocrisy. We want a real shelter as we are shelterless. We have nothing to attract the Lord towards us, so we must not live a hypocritical life. We have no qualification to attract anyone towards us. Wholesale, we want to be utilized by the Lord. If possible, our energy is to be wholesale thrown at the disposal of some wonderful person who can utilize it. This is faith proper, which releases us from the clutches of Satan. Satan's self-advertising, self-aggrandizing energy as the anti-God is encouraging more Satanism. It's encouraging more Satanism in us, such as the worldly ego, separatism, and independent life. Satanism, the conception that we are masters, must be fully dissolved and discarded via disassociation. Disassociation, it's actively giving up association. We are nothing without the connection of that wonderful person. Someone may utilize us, some miraculous person. Some miraculous force may utilize me. We should not seek any separate self-interest that means surrender to Satan, the anti-God. Everything is accomplished if I can submit to the center or the central power of the Absolute. This means faith. This is called faith. We can make progress towards the truth by faith and not by any other means, not through the senses, not with the intellect, and not with our reason. Nothing can measure that substance except faith. We must ask ourselves, am I ready to depend only on that faith? In the beginning, we shall try to drive out the misconception of faith. That is, many people will say that faith is superstition. What is faith? It is not something tangible. Our civilization will accuse us that we are required to be reduced to nothingness, to no worth, and this cannot have any good in it. This misconception of faith is blind. It is the worst type of superstition in our present civilization. But faith is such that we are nothing at present. But faith is such that we are nothing at present. Still, we can be utilized in our proper position but we are far, far from that sort of position. The negative side always progresses, and the foundation is sadhu sangha, the association of devotees. It becomes possible to select the agents in proper company. In this attitude, we can select the divine agents of a higher type. They are different kinds of agents from different conception of so-called religion. According to our faith, we shall select our well-wishers and agents. According to the classification of our faith, we will make progress on that side. So faith means deep confidence in the central absolute. Our association, our selection of the agents from the eternal source coming to help us, depends on our faith. We are like birds of the same flock, the same feather. So we are to recognize that feather, and then we shall associate with them. Then dedicated action will begin by that association. He will be the teacher, and we shall be the student. Now the question is, what kind of faith? There is a plane of exploitation, renunciation, and dedication, service. The first, exploitation, may be easily eliminated. We are suffering from so many reactions, and we can easily become disgusted with this exploitative, elevationist mentality. This mentality that I can arise by my own efforts, I can elevate myself. But then the temptation of complete retirement in the renunciation school is staring us in the face. Many will flock there. Oh, complete retirement. This world is not worth living for. We want to retire from here permanently. Buddha, Shankar, and others will come with their agents to try to take you to that plane of renunciation or retirement. So this first one is talking, this elevationist mentality is talking about karma, actively performing, doing, actions to get yourself to a better position in this world or even in higher planets. That's karma. And then this one, retirement and renunciation, this is jnana. That no, we have to give this all up and renounce all this materialism. That's jnana. Buddha, Shankar, and others will come. Then there's the plane of dedicated life. I want to live, but not to renounce, nor to exploit. Exploitation means to give pain to others. But I want to live without giving any pain to others, without any reaction. Dedication means self-sacrifice. Then the question will come to give oneself to others. We shall try to give without taking, and this is safe when it has got connection with the center, who is the designer and destines everything. The connection with him will then be something substantial. Otherwise, all is futile with no position at all. But in this way, we are carried by that designer whose destiny resides in that conception of autocracy as Krishna. We shall then gradually see only love, affection, and beauty present in the autocrat, and nothing else. He is a charmer who can charm by his beauty and by his behavior. He is the only absolute autocrat. Affection, love, beauty, harmony, and sweetness is the autocrat. If we can find him in this way, then we shall go to his side. But the process of going also depends on him. Selection will come from him, as we are nowhere. We are helpless. We are to increase our helplessness so much so that his agents will be attracted. See, we need to become helpless. This is really, we want to increase our helplessness. They will come to recommend us. This will be substantial. We will always be conscious that we cannot be masters of this land of exploitation. We are fully dependent on the Lord. If anything is given to us for food, we shall take it, otherwise not. Such sort of surrendered life is most desirable. That much self-giving is desirable. Then we are given hope and inspiration that the center is of such a high quality. The Brahma Samhita will come and say, the land is touchstone, Chintamani. The vrikshas, the trees, are wish-fulfilling entities. Who are the inhabitants? Their movement means dancing. Their speaking means singing. Such a land is there. We may be accepted, recruited for that plane of life, according to the degree of our surrender. That sort of sacrifice is a peculiar, unconditional sacrifice, and does not come under any kind of calculation. Our faith is not within calculation, but is emphatically in the infinite sweetness of our Lord. We are to know the infinite in that beautiful land, where the absolute autocrat plays according to his own sweet whims. So be prepared for extreme self-sacrifice and self-abnegation. This is done through service, a serving attitude, by increasing our serving attitude and our self-giving. We shall not be attracted by some ambitious life with ambitious ideals. No, rather, we shall try to give ourselves totally for his fullest satisfaction. This will be the perfection of all our endeavors. This will be the perfection of all our endeavors. Faith and Sharanagati and surrender are pretty much synonymous. Faith in the absolute. Let me go back to check the comments. Look, I'm having connection issues. Anyhow, I'm just going to continue reading, because sometimes I think this lies. Right now it says network connection is 0 out of 10, but I don't know. Let me know if it's not actually working. Śrīla Śrīdhara Mahārāja. Faith in Krishna, the absolute truth, is innate in every soul. Faith is coexistent with the soul, but at present it is covered by Maya. Maya means miscalculation, misunderstanding, and wrong interest. Because our faith is covered, we cannot trace it out, but it is there within us. Only when we have come in connection with the real saint will our inner faith awaken. That's really cool. The faith is already there. We just need to uncover it. Faith is within us, but at present it is suppressed. And so we give more importance to some local and temporary interest, ignoring our eternal interest. I love this. Faith isn't something that we need to develop or something that we need to get. It's something that we need to uncover. We need to realize it's already there. This is the condition of the soul in bondage. Our eternal interest within has been covered by the local, temporary interest. So because we have forgotten our eternal self-interest, we have to suffer. Any self-interest is limited. Local means limited. The rupee, which is valuable in India, won't have any use outside of India. The rupee is a local currency. On the other hand, gold has value everywhere. Gold is the central basis of all local currencies. In the same way, service to the Supreme Lord is the absolute interest, without which all local interests are valueless. So we are all servants of the Supreme Absolute Center, and his service is our eternal interest. As a servant of the Absolute, I may assert his interest wherever I may be posted. By serving the Absolute interest, all local interests are automatically served. But a servant of India has different interests than a servant of Russia. A servant of America or a servant of America or a servant of Japan. These are all local interests. So these local interests must be given up. We must learn what is the universal interest and awaken to our inner plane of life, which is fully in harmony with that universal interest. We must follow that path, for that is higher, more tasteful, and more reasonable in all respects. That is a perfect life. Serving the universal interest is the real meaning of religion, and the ultimate religion is Bhagavad Dharma, If we serve any partial interest, then another part will revolt. We must serve the universal interest, which is already within us. That will be useful and successful everywhere. Anyone may say that they have Shraddha or faith, but faith has its criterion. If someone asserts that his faith in some local interest is as good as his faith in the universal interest, it will not pass the examination of the experts. They will examine him. They will know the symptoms of real faith, its criterion, its jurisdiction, and its characteristics. Apparently, there are so many different kinds of faith: Christianity, Islam, yoga, and so many other religious creeds. If a person has some religious creed, he may assert, "This is my faith." It may be a particular creed, but absolute faith has its separate existence. Only real Krishna consciousness represents those who have absolute faith. Some people say, Krishna is a particular form with a human figure. How can that be a universal representation of the absolute truth? Krishna consciousness is also a local, narrow type of belief. Krishna consciousness is also a local, narrow type of belief. You say that Krishna is the absolute, but he has a particular figure. We don't say that the absolute is limited to a particular figure. He is beyond the range of our eye and ear, and of our eye and ear experience, our mental and intellectual experience. He is all comprehensive and all permeating. This is Brahman conception of the absolute. Brahman means all comprehensive. Everything is contained within that. Brahman means the broadest knowledge, which can complement all possible parts of knowledge. Above that is the Paramatma Conception. Paramatma means the all-pervading smallest of the small. Beyond the atom is the proton and the electron, and the smallest of the small, Paramatma. Paramatma means the smallest of the small, and Brahman is the biggest of the big. Bhagavan is of a different type. Bhagavan, or the Supreme Lord Krishna, is he who attracts the attention of everyone. He is neither the biggest nor the smallest, but he who can attract all attention. That aspect of the Lord in its most extreme form is Krishna, and he is so sweet that he can attract everything. There may be so many atoms, both big and small, but gravity attracts them, gives them some form, and they become the cosmos. In the highest sense, attraction means not only physical attraction, but wholesale attraction in body, mind, and soul. The center of the highest attraction is Krishna. Krishna means one who can attract everything and give the highest satisfaction in return. Although he may come within our visualized experience, that experience has no connection with this world. He is transcendental. Krishna can play in the ras dance and appear simultaneously at the side of every gopi by expanding himself into innumerable doubles. So that by the side of each gopi there is one Krishna. Brahma stole Krishna's calves and cowboys, but by his let me try again. Brahma stole Krishna's calves and cowboys, but by his will everything was kept up. There is no loss to Krishna. So infinite is he in character. But because we are finite, he approaches us in an easily comprehensible way, in a way that we can visualize him. Otherwise, our eyes are useless in trying to perceive the infinite. If something is very dazzling, we cannot see it. Our eyes have their limits. If a light is very intense, we cannot see it. Or if a life is very dim, we cannot perceive it. We can only perceive the middle part of the spectrum. Similarly, if a sound is very loud, our ear cannot grasp it. And if a sound is very soft also, our ear cannot catch it. Our ear can function only within the limitation of a certain sound range. Everything which is above or below our sense perception is of no use to us. And so Krishna appears to us in the middle in so many ways. He appears to us in a certain color, a certain figure. He appears in sounds as the name Krishna. He appears for the eye experience as the deity, For the ear experience as the name Krishna. For the tongue experience, he appears as prasadam. In different ways, our senses can have a corresponding relationship with him. Once I went to preach in Karachi in 1935 or so. The president of the Arya Samaj came to see us, and his first remark was, "If the finite can know the infinite, then he is not infinite. You are worshippers of dolls, idols. You say that you can know God, but you are a finite soul. The infinite can never be known by you." That was his argument. You Vaishnavas preach doll worship, idol worship. Your transaction is only with the limited world. You don't know anything about the unlimited. With this basis, he attacked us. But I immediately replied, if the infinite cannot make himself known to the finite, then he is not infinite. So in the Vaishnav creed, or in any other creed, we should always keep in mind that everything depends on him. He can come down to our level, but we cannot go up to his level. We can only attract him to come down to our level by improving our negative tendency. We should pray, "O Lord, I am so mean. I am the most fallen of the fallen, the lowest of the low. Without your help, I am nothing. Please be satisfied. Be propitiated with me." That is only possible through Sharanagati, self-surrender. Through Sharanagati, we can attract the superior plane to descend to the lower plane. He has the power. He can take me to his domain. He is all-powerful, but we cannot force our entrance into that domain. We have no natural right to do that. We are made of lower stuff. He is adhoksaj, transcendental. Adhoksaj means that plane of existence which can keep the world of experience in a lower position. The world of experience is pushed down by the adhoksaj plane. That subtle plane of existence can come down to us, but we cannot go up. Only if he takes us there can we go up. With a passport, we can go to the verge of our jurisdiction, to the border. But if we have a visa, if a visa is allowed, then we can enter into that domain of another land. So the human mind and intellect can have no touch of the adhoksaj realm. A few days ago, there was a rumor of flying saucers. It was thought that from a more civilized land, they came in a small plane and wandered over this world. From Earth, the Air Force gave chase to the flying saucers, but they disappeared. Where they have gone, no one can trace. They returned disappointed. The flying saucers can descend there to connect with this planet. The Air Force can follow them to some extent, but the flying saucers disappear beyond their vision. The adhoksaj, or transcendental plane, is something like that. There is a subtle plane that can come down to our gross mind and intelligence, but we cannot go up there. The Mayavadis and the Buddhists say that we can withdraw from this world of experience and dissolve into the world of the soul. They say that the non-differentiated spiritual plane is the ultimate end. But Ramanuja and other Vaishnavacharyas say that there is another plane of existence which is more subtle, more efficient, and more powerful. The soul, which we may think of as the sun or moon, is a gross thing in comparison to that realm. Just as the flying saucer can come here, the transcendental plane can descend to the plane of the soul, and then the soul can have experience. But if it withdraws from our experience, then the soul cannot do anything, but the recollection will be there. He will remember that some wonderful experience came to touch his heart. Again, how can he have such an experience? When Mahaprabhu was coming from Gaya, he suddenly saw Krishna with his flute, and then Krishna disappeared. But Mahaprabhu's heart was fully captured by the sweetness and the extraordinary impression of his appearance. He said, "I can't stand it. I can't live. Oh, my friends, if you want me to live, then show me that land of beauty. The beauty that I suddenly experienced when I was coming back from Gaya. How sweet it was. It captured all the nerves of my soul. I cannot live. Oh, my friends, if you want me to live, then show me that land of beauty." So he managed, anyhow, to again show that sweet figure. It is so sweet. That is the impression. That is the consciousness. That is the thought. That is the idea. That area is superior even to the soul. It is most fine. That is a plane of concrete reality, but we are only chewing the cover. We are not getting a touch of the soul. We are not getting a touch of the spirit within. What we experience by our eyes, by our ears, by our tongue, is only the cover and not the spirit within. Nate vidhu svarta gatim hi Vishnum. Prahlad Maharaj says that we are making much of the outer cover of the world, of the universe, but the sweet substance that is within, we cannot have a trace of that. But the grace is coming down by the will of that Almighty. That supreme knowledge and beauty is the uppermost. Beauty and harmony are the highest. Even knowledge searches after beauty. One who wants knowledge wants to be the gainer by calculation. He wants to gain something. But what is that something? What is that knowledge he is searching after? What is it that knowledge is searching after? He is searching after sweetness and beauty, for harmony and ecstasy. And that is present there in the highest sphere, the highest layer that can come down. Now we are in a neglected position. We are so weak. How will it be possible to attain that plane? How will it be possible to get permanent nationality there? How is it possible? We must begin in a particular process. The agents are coming. Contact with them and watch the light. Find out what is necessary to live in that country. Prepare yourself. Above all, you must accept the interest of that plane as your interest. There, in that plane, everyone wants to serve Krishna, to please Krishna. He is the center. We must try to be trained so that if you are taken there, you will know what to do. So the agent is necessary. He will teach us. From him we will get the knowledge, and in this way we will train ourselves, and then the correction will come and we will be able to go there. By their grace, we will go there and will be utilized there in the service of the Lord. So self-abnegation is necessary. First, we are all self-aggrandizing units. So I have a hard time saying that word. So self-abnegation is necessary. Then self-aggrandizement should be banished. Self-seeking must go. Local interest seeking must be given up, and the universal interest, especially in the plane of Krishna's satisfaction, must be taken up. How will we get such training? Through the saints, the scriptures, and the Guru. By following some regulations, we shall gradually be able to secure some service in that plane, and we shall be taken there. It is a reality. It is not a concoction. It is not imagination. Why should we run after a phantasmagoria? It seems that apparently we are searching after something imaginary, leaving behind the concrete world. But this world is not the concrete reality. That is the defect. We see in our everyday experience that everything is vanishing here. We do not want this. We want to live eternally. It is our nature to live eternally. But although it is undesirable, still we have to die. It is inevitable. So in the vision of a sober judgment, this world is not concrete. It is all disappointing. It is all cheating. It is Maya. Ma-ya, that which is not. Maya means to be engaged with a particular thing that is not. That thing which is not what we conceive it to be. So this world is not concrete. First, we have to understand that. We have to understand that this is not substantial. Everyone is here for some time, and then they are passing away. So if we want to conquer death, then we have to seek that inner world where this body may not go. This mind will not be utilized there. Within, there is the soul, and within the soul lies the unique function to serve the sweetness, Krishna. That should be evolved, awakened with the proper agent of the Absolute, the spiritual master. that aspect of our inner eternal self will be taken to the plane of infinite resources, and our heart's fulfillment will be reached. Okay, I think I'm going to just do this article and I'm going to end here because it's already 9:10. And this article is a bit longer. Maybe we can read this one another time. Faith and harmony. Let me check the comments. All right. Here in the mundane plane, eliminating God, everyone is self-centered. Therefore, there is a clash and reaction. But in the higher realm, with harmony, there is no clash. In that plane, any apparent clash exists to promote inner wealth. In this mundane plane, there is apparent friendship, but inner animosity. But in the God-centered plane, there is apparent competition, but inner friendship, because the flow of God's service is common to everyone. Krishna consciousness is most accommodating. We are to consider that it is beyond justice. It is the land of mercy consideration. Our highest goal is from the consideration of mercy, not justice. It is inconceivable, but above justice is the plane of consideration, mercy, and affection. And that is Krishna consciousness. It goes over what is our due. Therefore, it is high. The consideration there is crossing our capacity, so there is no room for any complaint. Everything is coming through affection, and it is not based upon any justice according to our capacity, so we have no right to make any judgment. If any position will be given to us there, it will be by extended affection. On the whole, to enter into the plane of divinity means grace. We have no rights, and he may not even allow us to enter there. Only we must have as our visa the goodwill to serve that land, and not to engage in treachery. Otherwise, we will not be allowed entrance. 1 second, I need to cough. What's treachery? Betrayal of trust. Okay. Faithful contribution to that land is Shraddha. With that we may be taken in, not only taken in, but we shall find all home comfort there and full freedom. Oh my God, there's a full-on fight going outside, like crazy fight. Anyhow. Sorry, guys. Faithful contribution, let me reread that. Faithful contribution to that land is Shraddha. With that we may be taken in. Not only taken in, but we shall find all home comfort there and full freedom. The fullest freedom is in Krishna consciousness, and that is above justice. The law of the country is ignored, and more benefit is allowed. We will get more freedom, comfort, and everything is there in Vṛndā-devyāṣṭakam. Why? Because it is a transaction of natural faith and love, affection, etc. It is inconceivable. Achintya kalu ye bhava na tangstarkena yojayet. The Upanishads say, don't venture to test that plane with your reason. It is beyond the capacity of your thinking. It has different laws, so don't try to approach there with your calculations. So when we apparently see a clash between persons who are trying for realization, we must understand it properly. We may feel discouraged. They are approaching towards harmony, so why should they come and clash? But we find it happens, and it may be of different types according to the plane in which the clash takes place. In Vaikuntha, we find the 4 Kumars were going to visit Narayan, but Jai and Vijay appealed to them not to go at this time. the 4 Kumars were infuriated and threw a curse upon Jai and Vijay. We sometimes find this apparently undesirable clash between the devotees, though ultimately it is all for some higher purpose for the Lord's satisfaction. Clashes can even be seen in Krishna Lila. Of course, in Vrindavan, competition is of the highest type, and we are to understand that it is necessary. It is planned by Yogamaya to enhance the satisfaction of Krishna. Different plans are designed by Yogamaya, and the apparent clash is designed purposely in order to produce a peculiar satisfaction in Krishna. Such things are found even within the various groups, including that of Srimati Radharani. In Krishna's Vrindavan pastimes, we find so many asuras set against his Leela, but those demons have a contribution in a negative way, and that a hero must have some incidences to show his heroism. To kill asuras is part of heroism. We find clashes within the same group, groups within a group, but what is found that is so true. But what is found, we shall try to take part as Leela. But what is found, we shall try to take as part of Leela. The criterion of Leela is that it happens for the satisfaction of the center. We also find clashes, even severely, within the Leela of the most magnanimous incarnation of the Lord, Sriman Mahaprabhu. Advaita Prabhu and Srivas Pandit presented themselves as members of the aristocratic class, but Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur represented just the opposite, the common class. It is recorded in Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat that one day, soon after the miscreants Jagai and Madai had been converted and included in the Sankirtan, Advaita Acharya revolted. You are taking in the ordinary people of the lower section. This makes it difficult for persons of dignified position like myself and Srivas Pandit to remain here in this clan of Sankirtan. When Mahaprabhu heard this, it pierced him in the core of his heart. He could not tolerate such a statement. He immediately left the party, ran straight to the Ganges, and hurled himself in the waters. Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur quickly followed the Lord, and they also jumped in. Nityananda took the Lord by his shoulders and Haridas by his feet, and they pulled him out from the waters of the Ganges. Mahaprabhu said, "All right, but I shall go and stay with Nandanacharya." Nandanacharya was a devotee whose home was on the banks of the Ganges, a short way from the town of Navadvip. Mahaprabhu hid himself there and instructed, Don't disclose to Advaita Acharya that I am here." Then Advaita Acharya Prabhu thought to himself, "What have I done? I could not control myself. My aristocratic sentiment came out so suddenly, and it hurt and struck the sentiment of Mahaprabhu so much so that he fled and jumped into the Ganges." Advaita Acharya then fasted. He mourned, "What have I done?" After 2 days, news of Advaita Acharya's resolve to fast till death reached Mahaprabhu. Then Mahaprabhu's heart melted again, and he approached Advaita Acharya. "Acharya, get up. I am leaving my hideout, and I am coming to you." Quoting a verse, he explains that by the order of a minister representing the king, so many persons are hanged. But that same representative of the king who has hanged so many people by the king's order, he also may be hanged by the order of the king. The absolute is such. Please don't mind. Now get up and take prasadam. In this way, Advaita Acharya was pacified. Furthermore, we hear that sometimes Mahaprabhu showed him honor due to his age. Advaita Acharya was very senior in age. He may even have been more senior than Mahaprabhu's father. However, he always considered that Mahaprabhu was not a man. Therefore, he constantly tried to show respect to him. But Mahaprabhu did not allow. "What? You are a senior. You are in the rank of my guardians, the rank of my parents. You should not show honor to me. Rather, I am to show you honor." He began forcibly taking the feet thus of Advaita Acharya, who became distressed. Then Advaita Prabhu thought, "I have to make a plan so that I can receive his punishment." So he went to his Shantipur house and began to preach Gyan Marg, showing that mukti is the highest end and bhakti is the lower. The principle of bhakti admits that God is fully independent. We may try to please him, but he may or may not be pleased. It is his will. So what is the necessity of wild goose chasing? God may or may not be propitiated, and we may or may not get his grace. It is all uncertain. But mukti is in our hands. By certain practices, we can enter into samadhi. Therefore, mukti is our real end and friend. We should take to that. In this way, Advaita Acharya began to preach in the Shantipur camp. The news reached Mahaprabhu. Advaita Acharya used to preach for your camp, but now he preaches against your principle. Then one day, Nityananda Prabhu and Mahaprabhu went to Shantipur. And what a scene! Mahaprabhu began to give a good beating to the old Acharya. Why have you invited me and brought me down here? By your invitation and attraction, I have come down, but now you are going against me. What is your reason? Mahaprabhu began to slap him. Haridas Thakur shuddered. What is this? I am seeing inconceivable things. Nityananda Prabhu stood there and found himself to be relishing something, and wondering what more things would come out. And Sita Thakurani, Advaita's wife, protested. No, don't beat that old man so hard. He'll be finished. Stop your beating. But Advaita Acharya came through smiling. Now I have taken revenge on you. You always come to take my feet dust. But now see, you have come to punish me. So who is superior, myself or you? In this way, the Acharya came out smiling and everything was pacified. Rather, Mahaprabhu was a little indisposed. Sometimes we see such things also within the devotee section. Such things are there. In Dwarka, we also find clashes. We find in Dwarka that there was much dispute about a gem. The father of Satyabhama, Satyajit, gained that gem by worshipping the sun god. It was known as a jewel, but it was presently taken away by one after another. Prasena, the younger brother of Satyajit, took that Shamantaka jewel. He wore it around his neck and went into the forest in order to hunt. While in the forest, a lion became charmed with the grace of the gem. He killed Prasena and took it. Then the bear Jambavan, Ramachandra's servant, fought with the lion, killed him, and took away the gem. Anyhow, a rumor began that Krishna had somehow captured the gem, and that it was all his diplomacy. Because of this, Krishna thought, the burden is now on me, so I have to search for that gem, take it, and give it to its proper place. A bad name has come upon me, so to clear my name, I am to search for the gem. He then searched along the way of the Prasena. He therefore searched along the way that Prasena went. He then followed the footprints of the lion and found a place where the bear and the lion had been fighting. The lion lay dead. Following the footprints of the bear, Krishna reached a hole in the earth. He entered there, and that is a story in itself. Anyhow, when Ramachandra's servant Jambavan finally understood the situation after fighting for 15 days or so, he came out and offered the gem and his daughter Jambavati to Krishna. Then again, the gem was lost. The suspect was Shatadhanva. It was suspected that by some means Shatadhanva had captured it, although it was not the case. On hearing the rumor, Shatadhanva became afraid. They think I have the gem, so I will be killed. Though he had not taken the gem, the rumor was so much against him that he became frightened and ran away from that place. Because he was running away, Krishna and Balaram followed him. Krishna ran fastest, captured Shatadhanva, and killed him. Searching him, he found no gem, and so he became puzzled. By this time, Balaram had caught up with him, and Krishna told him, I have killed Shatadhanva in vain. No gem is found here. Balaram then exclaimed, Oh, you are deceiving me. You have become so unfaithful. All right, you go back. I am going to Jarasandha, the enemy camp. There he began to train Duryodhana. Such leelas do take place and are to be traced in Srimad Bhagavatam. When explaining all these things, our Śrīla Guru Maharaj used to say, these hindrances come on the path in order to make it more valuable and in order to deceive those of less faith and the unfaithful. Those who are fortunate souls will be able to cross over all these incidents and will be hopelessly attracted by the sweetness of the Leela of Krishna. Hopelessly attracted. I love that. They will be given entrance there. Purposefully, these hindrances are posted along the way so that ordinary people may not enter. Krishna Leela will come to those who have deep faith and who have some real taste for the thing. In spite of all these hindrances, it will come to those for whom this is unavoidably charming, and who, by descending grace, are helplessly drawn beyond such apparent hindrances. The technical name for this Leela is Asur Mohan, attracting the demons. This has been planned in order to deceive the Asura types. Oh, okay, not attract, to bring the Asuras, the demons, under illusion, Mohan, to bewilder the demons. This has been planned in order to deceive the Asura types, those of undivine character. So we are to be careful about all these things. There can be quarrels amongst the parties up to the very highest. With such a beautiful flower, so soft and good-looking, so soft and good-looking as a rose, why should there be any thorns? Its roots draw nourishment from the earth, and that sap produces such a soft flower, such a beautiful thing. Why should that sap also produce so many thorns on the stem? So there is thesis, antithesis, and synthesis. There is assertion of a subject, then comes opposition, then higher harmony comes in the synthesis, where there is found higher grouping, higher unity and harmony. Then again that becomes the thesis, and so antithesis comes, and again both become harmonized. Whoa. This is the nature of Leela, and such nature is there to help. Anyways. Sometimes we find that in order for a drama not to become monotonous, some lightheartedness may be introduced to make the audience laugh. Just as a clown may be introduced in the midst of a drama to prevent any monotony, the Asura Mohan Leela may be necessary to give variety to Krishna's pastimes. We have to properly adjust many things when considering Krishna's Leela. I was astonished to find in Srimad Bhagavatam that when Krishna was about to enter Dwarka after a long absence, a procession party from the town came to receive him. It was described in Srimad Bhagavatam that included the procession where prostitutes dancing. In that procession were prostitutes dancing. I thought, what is this? In Dwarka there are prostitutes? Rather, I was shocked to find this. How can Dwarka accommodate prostitutes? In heaven there are also prostitutes, but we are to analyze what is at the basis of all of this. Both good and bad exist, but badness is only found in the mundane realm. What is here must have its origin in the higher realm, and this is not only a perverted reflection of that. And this is only a perverted reflection of that. Everything that is found here is also there first. From there, its reflection has come here as a perverted manifestation. The main difference is that everything in that spiritual realm is full of serving attitude, but here it is all with enjoying attitude. We cannot drag everything within our reason and arguments, but still we are to try to understand things according to our capacity, faith, and realization. Despite all this, sweetness is sweet, and truth is truth. Truth, however strong it is truth. We are to accommodate this in our mind. We should not think that only this mundane purity is the basis to prove transcendental divinity. We are not to take the standard from here and apply it there. This is an important point. We are not to take the standard from here and apply it there. We are to understand service. To be so pure. Draupadi had 5 husbands, but if we take her name, then we will be purified. Ahalya Draupadi Kunti Tara Inantodari Yata Panchakanya Smarit Nitya Mahapatakanashanam. All these 5 ladies had more than one husband, but they were gained by circumstance. The scholars may make you feel cautious, but don't think in that way. If you take their name, you will be purified. Such is their position. It is not for lust. It is not for mean lust that they have gained so many husbands. But at the bottom of it all is sacrifice. You are to remember that. You are to study the death before giving evaluation. You are to understand and follow the basis, the very foundation. Sacrifice can make anything pure. You are to understand the very fundamental things of existence. The degree of purity or impurity does not depend on form, but substance. We are to draw our attention towards that. We are to try to understand the substance, and not so much the form. All right, it's now 9:30, so I should end here, see if there's any prasad left. I wish I could read this article also, but it's just too late. Anyhow, the link is there if you want to read it on your own in the description. Maybe I can read this tomorrow morning before the Srimad Bhagavatam read. We'll see. All right, I'm going to do a quick Maha Mantra because it's late. 1 second. Okay. Oh wow, there's only one person here. I wonder if my internet was going out, if I was just reading too long. Anyhow. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol. Jai Shri Guru Gauranga Gandharvika Giridhari Shri Shri Radha Vinod Bihari Ju Ki Jai, Shri Govinda Gopinath Maran Mohan Ju Ki Jai, Nitil Vishnu Vishnupad Ashtatarashata Shishmad Shila Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Gosvāmī Mahārāja Shila Gurudev Ki Jai, Nitil Vishnu Vishnupad Ashtatarashata Shishmad Shila Bhakti Vedanta Vaman Gosvāmī Mahārāja Ki Jai, Nitil Vishnu Vishnupad Ashtatarashata Shishmad Shila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Mahārāja Shila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Nitil Vishnu Vishnupad Ashtatarashata Shishmad Shila Bhakti Pragyan Keśavāṣṭakam Gosvāmī Mahārāja Ki Jai, Nitil Vishnu Vishnupad Ashtatarashata Shishmad Shila Bhakti Rakshak Śrīdhara Gosvāmī Mahārāja Ki Jai, Nitil Vishnu Vishnupad Ashtatarashata Shishmad Shila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Gosvāmī Prabhupada Ki Jai, Nitil Vishnu Mahabhagavat Shila Goksharas Babaji Mahārāja Ki Jai, Nitil Vishnu Shila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur Ki Jai, Nitil Vishnu Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Shila Jagannath Das Babaji Mahārāja Ki Jai, Shri Rupa Nagagorya Guru Varga Ki Jai, Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath, Shri Jeev Gopal Patadasha Raghunath Shara Gosvāmī Prabhu Ki Jai, Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Shri Gopal Vṛndā Ki Jai, Namachay Shri Hairas Thakur Ki Jai, Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vṛndā Ki Jai, Shri Kshetra Mandala Gaura Mandala Vraja Mandala Mathura Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai, Sarva Abhishta Bharata Giriraj Maharaj Ki Jai, Shri Radha Kund Shama Kund Ki Jai, Shri Muna Devi Ganga Devi Ki Jai, Shri Tulsi Maharani Vṛndā-devi Ki Jai, Shri Bhakti Devi Ki Jai, Shri Purnamasi Yogamaya Ki Jai, Shri Gopeshwar Mahadev Ki Jai, Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai, Samagata Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai, Shri Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bo, Vrindai Tulsi Devai, Priyai Keśavāṣṭakam Krishna Bhakti Pradadevi Satyavataya Namo Namaha, Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Vacha Patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Dandavat pranams. Curious to see what all this fighting is going on outside. Hear all this like shouting constantly. Anyhow. Maybe it's because it's election time. I don't know. Tension between different parties. Anyways, we'll see. Haribol.